I just want to start off in saying that the Gladiator situation is trash with his release method. It is trash. And I've communicated that to the developers. We're going to talk mostly about that. And also, I want to say there are problems with Gore and Thanos. And there were problems with Ares. Now, they silently fixed the Ares problem, but there's some pretty glaring issues with Gore and Thanos. Gore's removal of Mephisto's battlefield effect is not working. And for me, I'm using Ultimus on offense instead of Gore to climb an arena. Okay. Thanos is not dropping down the buffs. I had to change Thanos to Skirmisher. Something's weird about Thanos, and there's no resisted. This is a mess. This is a mess. Now, I want to talk about the release method for specifically Gladiator. And this post kind of says what really needs to happen. And I think there's some information here that's not clear to me, and I hope they are wrong. Scopely, your player base is on fire. We have no idea if we're even getting events to unlock Gladiator, Gore, and Thanos. That's correct. We were told through CCs and from Lori that the arena orbs we get for the Annihilators were supplementary to the free-to-play releases. And this is true. This is a screenshot from Lori dated on the 6th saying, like the Queen's Entourage and Pimpal orbs, the teen orbs are designed to help newer players, such as those who don't have Silver Surfer, catch up. These team orbs are not the character release orbs, and this is not the free-to-play unlock event. So this is communication directly from Lori. This was in the Can Be Shared channel on Envoy server. I literally just screenshotted this 5 seconds ago. Tons of versions of this. So we know that this is not a debate. That was actually said. But now things have apparently, and I think the key word here is apparently, because I'm not sure, have changed, and the player voice movement was told internally that these orbs are the release event. So we have been lied to, both the CC and the community. Now, this is the part of the post that confuses me, and I went through like tons of the player voice movement and some of the messaging, and there's an inference to this, and this keyword is apparently, but it has not been expressly stated that this is what's happening. And I'm going to circle back to this because the fact of the matter is exactly this last part of the post, and that's why this is a good post. The community managers need to step in and do something. There's tons of confusion out there. Release an official statement on the subreddit, the Discord server, and on the website, and make it abundantly clear what the release method for the Annihilators actually is, and quell the community's frustrations. The longer you guys wait to say something, the worse is going to get. 1,000%. Because the current situation is that this does not feel good, specifically with Gladiator. Absolutely is horrible. And there should have been a blog post probably 2 weeks ago stating when the event is going to start, some details. I mean, I was flabbergasted that there was no post on Friday talking about anything with Gladiator. And so the community has gone into speculation mode. And, you know, I think a lot of people read this post as this is a statement of fact. And I got to tell you, maybe this did happen. I don't know. I did go through all the published information from the player voice movement, and I could not find this. I mean, there was some inference of that, and you could kind of maybe see what they're meaning by that, but I've never been conveyed this information, and the point is, why haven't we been given any real communication? This is terrible. And Annihilators, it feels just a bad experience. Bad experience. And it kind of goes into this post here, which I thought was Oh, wrestling. This guy makes all the good posts. How's it going, Steven? He's in my chat right now. How big of an advantage should spenders have? You have the gift to write text. My goodness, I wish I could write paragraphs like you do, sir. Let's cut through all the BS. The bump change, Old Man Logan, Stargate, Captain Britain, paywall, the new stat system, new character events. At the end of the day, this is really all about how much value should spenders get for the money. It's really that spender. And someone brought out in chat that in a lot of ways, this is kind of even making a gap between the people that are willing to spend $80 a month on battle passes. It's really that simple. I'll be honest. It's not an easy question to answer, and even Boundless doesn't know the right answer, and maybe there isn't one. There are still ones who have to make the decision. That's right. Scopely has to make the decision, and they're going to make the decision. This is a topic players should be probably directing their feedback. My personal feedback is simple, and I completely agree with all of this. I don't know how big of an advantage your spender should have. I just don't. However, I do know what type of advantage I believe spenders should have. And in general, Marvel Strike Force has always been a pay-to-win game. Spending should help players to do better in the game. It's always been that way. However, spending shouldn't be how you get to play the game. By that I mean spending should help players do better at the highest difficulty of a trial. Spending should not decide who gets to play the highest difficulty of a trial. Spending should let you get through a pocket dimension easier. Spending should not be the way to get into a pocket dimension. I mean, we could make this even further. Spending should give you some sort of advantage in Arena or Crucible or in War, but it's not preventing the activity from happening. So basically, what this is saying is we're all players, no matter how much or little we spend. Spenders should probably win more, but all players should be allowed to play. So the fundamental shift is that the game has always been pay to win, free to play game. I think in general, free to play games are that nature. It has gone to pay to play. They are gating content by spending. And I feel like that is fundamentally wrong. And I thought this was funny. Everybody was mistakenly thinking that free to play stood for free to play, but it was always fee to play. All right. Lastly, I've been forgetting to do this, but there is a poll on the website where you can get 75 energy and 75 power cores every day up until the tournament, which is going to be on Thursday. Current season of Crucible is winding down, and this will announce the next season, and there'll be a tournament on Twitch. I'll be participating, and the new season rules will be a part of that. But in the meantime, I guess there's 3-4 days left to collect this. You can vote every day. This resets. The future of Marvel Strike Force, the good, bad, and ugly, and we'll end the video with this post. A lot of growing pains happening in the game right now, and I attribute most of that to big swing and change that have been happening since Illuminati. Yes. I'm going to say, for me, it's since the Old Man Logan trials. For me, that's kind of where I saw the change start. We seem to be on a very intentional roadmap that no one but the devs are aware of. The good and mixed bag, introduction of 6-person teams with Illuminati, the release of Captain Britain, and the creation of elite characters, obvious transparent ploy for money. That said, they gave free to play an out by using the other 5 members. They pay-gated elite character out of Captain Britain, turned to be a great character, but not that great. People are definitely finding use for Illuminati with Iron Man instead. Yes, not pay to play, but certainly only pay to win in certain situations. And the case has been made, and the case that I've been saying for a while is that Captain Britain does not play the same at 3 stars versus 7 stars. And I think Wrestling brought it up. That was also true for Zombie Juggernaut. A weak Zombie Juggernaut does not play the same as a maxed out Zombie Juggernaut. They actually need stats to do things. I mean, there's some one taps in Cosmic Crucible that are only possible with the 7 version of Captain Britain. So why couldn't have they just give the free to play players a 3-star or access to a 3-star Captain Britain? Why do they have to just completely paywall it to spending? And the other thing that this poster does not acknowledge is, yes, Iron Man Illuminati is very useful, but I can separate Captain Britain out of the Iron Man Illuminati. So I can send Iron Man Illuminati over here to do something. And then I could use Captain Britain over here against, let's say, a Super Skrull team and shut down Super Skrull with, 4 other good characters. This gives me an extra tool to win in Cosmic Crucible, even if I split up the team. Teams are made up of plug-and-play characters with Annihilators, yes. Virtually every member of the Annihilators can be used as plug-and-play elsewhere in a variety of game modes. And this is also true on some level of Alpha Flight. Sasquatch is a pre-taunting tank. North Star has anti-revive mechanic. And a Gladiator gives offense up on spawn, which has been useful as a plug-and-play character. This coupled with 6-man teams like Illuminati adds further evidence the devs are attempting to slowly add theory crafting back to the game. Yes. As mythic and elite characters continue to be added, Odin, Null, etc., you can bet we'll see some interesting teams be created without the need for team tags. The fact that Annihilators seem fairly lackluster team relative to the devs seems to back this up. Well, I mean, you kind of want to play the Annihilators together. Gladiators, passive, preventing exposed and vulnerable when he's above 50%. It's pretty powerful in countering like Cabal inside of Crucible. Free-to-play calendar release methods with Ares. Yeah, this is good, I think, also. While some posts can slightly pay to win by accelerating Ares release timeline and or awakened abilities, the Ares release event seems very intentional forced meta with everyone having access to him through this month-long event. Ares is definitely plug-and-play character, good in all game modes. We don't know. In Great War, yes, I'll agree with that. And that's only so far. I'm sure that most people realize how good Ares is going to be at full stars and diamonds. We will see. We will see. I'm not sure. I'm hoping that is true. I myself already discovered some combos that allow him to one-shot the Alpha Flight War without huge punch downs or any members of Out of Time. This will only get better in time. I think he's going to be free-to-players' answer to some of the stronger pay-to-win metas going forward. Moving forward, who knows what other similar characters devs have been around the corner. And we've had other characters kind of in this Ares type situation. I would say that, Silver Surfer initially was like this, Quicksilver was kind of like this, and also Big Time Spider-Man was kind of like this. So Ares is in that same flavor of, not in the functionality, but the way that they released plug and play ability, access, free to play, so on and so on. Bag and ugly, paywall releases garbage. Seemingly powerful characters paywall relatively so seemingly less powerful characters as release methods. It angers the community, rightfully so. That said, the pattern we've seen that these characters aren't good as they are on paper, even at higher stars. Captain Britain, for example. And then Annihilators, we talked about this at the beginning of the video. Something's wrong, or just Thanos' focus seems annoying. Gore not working correctly is ignoring. My hope is that they fix those issues or address those issues, and maybe they function as I was expecting to do. I've been relatively happy with them, but those things are super annoyance. Devs have caught themselves in a trap here because they just can't tell the community, don't worry, these paywall characters actually kind of suck. See the problem? Pure communication of the timeline and their vision for the game and everything else. We have new community managers. They seem to be in name only. This is incredibly frustrating in the community. We get news from the Envoy program and data mines, then community manager, we get more news. This is on high value, low effort change by the devs and don't understand why they can't get their communication together. I have some thoughts about that, but I won't get into that in this video. New stat meta. Higher stats, simplified kits seem like a good idea, but 75% of our roster remain trash, as Mobile Gamer said in the most recent roster ranking video. Yes, and I'll show the infographic to that. These higher stats only make an existing problem worse, furthering the divide between usable and unusable characters. Yes. Think the player base would love to see more value placed into older fan favorites, or at least older legendaries such as Phoenix, who, with some minor stat and kit adjustments, could have serious plug-and-play potential. These are my opinions. Now, this is the tier list right here, and the tier list is dated on the 24th. There's some slight changes on the tier list from the video. In the video, I kind of explain what this tier list means, and probably in the next version of this tier list, I will have more specific. But F, don't bother with these characters, and this is the largest basket of characters. These are Blitz-only characters. D is made up of 2 types of characters. Characters that are there on their way to the trash can in F, and maybe there's some limited situational use in one game mode, or these are characters like Chavez, Emma, Echo, Cable, where they have a limited use doing something, but they don't really need stats to do it. Emma, Echo, Chavez, Cable are all kind of in that category. Like, I think that this D and F, I'm not suggesting anybody spend resources on them. And then I'm going to come back to C and I'm going to go back to the top. But we have S tier, which is good everywhere. A tier, exceptional in multiple game modes. And then we have B, good in multiple game modes. But largely, most players should be focusing on this S, A, and B. And then if there's a game mode or a character that you just like, then you can work on some of these C characters. Because generally, these C characters down here are characters that do something in one game mode, or they are situational where there's a lot more flexibility. So that being said, the focus is on, this upper, very small percentage of the characters. And, we've got a lot of hot garbage. Maybe that's just the way the game goes. But to the poster's point is the stat increases that started with Ares. So right now that'll be the entire Annihilators team and Ares. So there's a total of 6 characters, is going to make this problem worse. Absolutely going to make this problem worse because of the massive stat increases. And these C's and D's are going to get dumpstered faster because of that change. I'll put a link to the infographic in the description in the first pinned comment. And as always, thanks for watching. Keep on gaming. Bye for now.